up, guys? Ness here, coming to you from Henderson Flat OHV area in Central Oregon, and I'm out here with Tim and Sean, and it's a small little riding area, but a lot of fun. Little hill climb here. Little descent action. So anyways, today I'm out here on the Emily's KTM 350. It's a 2014 KTM 350 xcf-w trail bike, not a dual sport. So I'm out here today on the 350 because Emily and I were doing some talking lately, and it's time to sell some bikes and consolidate a little bit. Try to be responsible financially and kind of scale back. So I ended up getting a new truck recently because my old truck tranny went out on it. And needed something safe that I could safe for hauling Riley around. So, you know, the big dilemma here, and what I want to talk about this video, is just how it's really hard when you like all types of riding to, you know, have one bike to do everything you really want to do. And you know, to be honest with you, it's pretty impossible. Like, it's possible, but it's, you know, there's sacrifices. I've got the Cowie 450, which I probably shouldn't have bought that bike, but I did. Ended up selling my old KTM and using the money to buy that bike instead of being responsible and paying off some stuff. And so we got this bike for Emily because her old CR 250 was just it was just nightmare to kick that thing. Those things, valve changes all the time. So, and this thing has the electric start and all that. So, you know, and then I got my 530. And as much as I love the 530, you know, being a dual sport and everything, it is kind of a still, you know, big heavy bike. And you know, it's nothing. It's still much lighter than a standard dual sport. And you know, it's pretty much a dirt bike with a plate, but it's still the heaviest of you know, of the line. So basically, I'm looking at Emily is okay with. She's got a KX 100 2-stroke that she used to have, and we still have it. It's just been, it kind of needed a top end and a new cylinder and a bunch of stuff. And I bought all this stuff a long time ago. I've just been really lazy about putting it all back together. Oh yeah, Timmy, get some. And so she's willing to go back to that bike, and what we're looking at doing is we've got this bike, the 350. I've got the 530, and then I have the Cowie. The Cowie's been predominantly my track and sand bike. I like being able to go to the track, even though I suck at it because it's close. It's a good workout, and you know, it's a lot of fun, even though I'm bad at it. In the sand, you know, I just don't do the sand that much, so the Cowie's going bye-bye. Goodbye, Cowie. Was fun. Frickin' beast. So I've decided to definitely sell the Kawasaki, and then I got to pick between this 350 and my 530. And I think I've made a decision, guys. You know, nothing's sold yet, so you know, if you want to leave a comment below and tell me what you think I should do. Not that I'll do that, but you know, I've been racking my brain lately a lot, so you know, all the input I can get, probably on input overload, but still, like, I value you guys' opinion, and hopefully no matter what I choose, you'll continue to support and follow the channel, because I will still, no matter what, be doing moto vlogs and making videos, because I love to do it. But I am leaning really heavily right now on making this 350, setting it up for me, and making this my new bike, and selling the 530 and selling my Cowie. And yeah, like I said, just trying to be responsible for once and get rid of some of the toys and try to get ahead. So the reason I am thinking about keeping this bike versus the 530, because this bike does not have a plate. So you're like, oh man, Ness, what are you doing? What are you doing? Gotta have a plate. And yeah, I you know, like a plate is awesome, and I do like to dual sport. There is a possibility that I might be able to get this bike plated. It's a little difficult here in Oregon if it's not from the factory, street legal in Oregon. If you getting a plate for it is kind of a crapshoot on finding a DMV agent that doesn't know what they're doing and letting it get through Salem, the capital, the main DMV headquarters, and letting it get through someone there and not flagging it. That's kind of what you got to do. So my main reason for keeping this bike over the 530 is that we bought this bike brand new, and these guys are waiting for me because I'm sitting here vlogging going slow. But we bought this bike brand new. I don't have to worry about it for a while. I don't have to worry about maintenance, or, you know, besides basic maintenance, you know, I don't have to worry about much for a while, probably a couple years. And if we're gonna get, if we're trying to be tight and follow a budget, and you know, it's not having unexpected dirt bike repairs is a bonus. 530 is a solid bike. I haven't had any issues with it yet. It's completely set up for me, which is nice. But you know, it's got some miles on it, not a lot. It's still pretty fresh, but it's, you know, it's an 09. It's been around for a while. Fairly low miles, 3,500. But there's always a chance, and you know, it's probably going to be due for some, you know, bearings and seals and stuff like that, possibly pretty soon. And you know, just you know, kind of like the 60,000 mile maintenance that you do on a rig, you know, and it's. I don't want to have to deal with that. You know, it's the difference in price between what I can sell this bike for and sell the 530 is actually not that much. And the 530's got a very popular following, so I'm sure I'll have no problem selling it, especially the way it's set up. So my other thinking on keeping this bike over the 530 is this bike is so nimble and flickable. It's a lot of fun to ride. The handling, the controls, everything is just so it's like a dream. And while it's only a 350, this thing cranks out 45 horsepower. And is just it gets 6 gears, and the power never ends. And it's also, it really likes to rev. It likes to live in those in the high revs, which is a lot of fun on a dirt bike. You know, I've kind of been thinking, I'm like, well, what kind of rider am I? You know, I watched Adventures in Real Life. If you guys don't know Adventures in Real Life, you should check him out. I'll put a link either here in the video or in the description. and he does some really good videos. The guy breaks everything down into like a science. He makes, you know, he's got that engineering mind. I don't know what he does for a living, but I would guess some kind of engineer or math guy or something. But you know, he loves to adventure ride. He builds out he's got a KLX 250 and does some cool stuff. Anyway, so he made a video that's like, you know, adventure riders versus motards. And kind of got me thinking, like, well, I don't really feel like I fit into either, though. I mean, I do adventure, don't get me wrong, but you know, what am I? I'm a dirt bike guy. I like freaking dirt bikes first and foremost. I like riding trails like this. It's just, that's what's the most fun for me. Dual sporting is cool, but I miss being able to, like, this rides more like my YZ250 than my 530. And it's like, I miss that. I miss rallying a dirt bike. And I feel like the 530 has, like, I feel like my skill level with in riding was like kind of on an upswing when I had the YZ and I was riding it a lot. I felt like when I went to the 530, I felt like I kind of took a, I kind of went, and even the 450s, that it kind of slowed my progression, and you know, kind of stalled me out and plateaued me, and I almost like regressed in some ways. Just don't ride as aggressive and as hard. So I want to get back into riding dirt bikes for the sake of riding dirt bikes, and you know, and start getting back into, you know, pushing myself on harder trails. And I'd even like to do some I've been wanting to do for the last couple years, get into some hare scrambles and some off-road racing. And I just think this is going to be the better bike for that. Plus, Emily does not have a dual sport. We're going to be probably doing the bulk of our riding, doing trips to different OHV places in Oregon, so that we can ride together and bring Riley along, and so therefore it's you know, this is going to be it's going to be a better bike for that. Plus, it's something that Emily could jump on too, apart from her KX100, and you know, still feel like, you know, because she's owned this bike. I mean, it's her bike too, and you know, just she loves this thing, so it'd be cool for her too. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. You know, the dual sport thing, I also have an FZ6, you know, and I'm thinking maybe I could trade that for some older cheap dual sport that I could, you know, kind of just something to tinker around with and do the dual sport stuff that I need to do until I can figure out how to put a plate on this. But really just get back to basics with riding. You know, obviously a lot of the trips I do to Utah require a dual sport, but it's probably going to be a while before I get back to that. So, go ahead. It's probably going to be a little while before I get back to that. So it gives me time to find something else. A lot of the dual sporting I do out of my house and around my area, there's really not a lot of legal trails, and it's not like it's stuff that's easily poachable. It's logging areas that are heavily monitored, Forest Service land, national forest, protected land, and you know, I don't want to push my luck there and make the community look bad or anything either. So I've got plenty of OHV areas in Oregon. There's a ton of them, and you know, I think I've done you guys what do you call it? I've done you guys a disservice in a way on this channel, because I should be showing you these areas a little more detail, kind of like well, my man CDS, how he shows off Colorado. So you know, this would get me camping more, get the family camping more, and get to go to some cool areas, and then, you know, and then just do my moto vlogs all on the trails. You know, I'm not much of a street guy, so or I might keep the FZ6 for a little while and maybe do a little commuting on that. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, guys. You know, I'm gonna be sad to let the bikes go, but the same token, I have a family now. Gotta grow up a little bit and be more responsible, and because I have a family now too, I'm not riding quite as much as I used to, unfortunately. That'll come back, but for the time being, it's time to consolidate and downsize. And I tell you, this 350 is so much fun. There's plenty of power, and it's so fun. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your continued support. And until next time, Ness out.